Okay, thank you very much. Welcome back after lunch, and hopefully over the next 15 minutes, I won't give you all indigestion. Just a bit of context today. I'm going to talk a little bit about SSE and what SSE are doing in the whole renewables decarbonisation space, because a lot of you guys will know us as Airtricity in Ireland, and it's a great brand, but obviously there's a lot going on within SSE, and Airtricity is one of those verticals that are focusing on the green space. So I'm also going to talk a little bit about our kind of investment strategy for the next 5 years, both in EV and other renewable assets, how that then transpires into our strategy for EV and fleets, and a little bit about what we're actually doing here in Ireland. And we're going to really use this today to launch our EV hub ultra-rapid strategy, and our first site is going to be going live in early 2023. So without further ado, as I said, most of you know us as Airtricity over here in Ireland, but obviously we're a lot more that, very heavily regulated over in the UK, and a lot of our focus is around managing distribution assets, generating renewable energy, investing in renewable energy, and then transmitting that around the UK. And our EV business sits within our unregulated part of SSE, and really where we've got a lot of our what we call our agile incubator startups in the green renewable space. We're heavily investing in behind the meter and in front of the meter solar and battery to complement our wind renewable energy assets, and we're also obviously now investing in EV. And to be fair, EV was an evolution of our kind of renewable kind of expertise, because believe it or not, 70 years ago, when renewables, the environment and everything wasn't vogue like it is obviously today, and the real hot topic and agenda everywhere with COP27 going on as we speak, we were investing in hydro generation assets in the Highlands and Islands in Scotland over 70 years ago, and those assets still are working well today. And in fact, we're investing in more hydro assets as we try to complement our green generation portfolio. And that kind of leads me to electric vehicle and decarbonisation of fleets. We kind of see it as a natural evolution of the ecosystem. So what's really super exciting for ourselves is that we can basically link an electric vehicle to a turbine in the North Sea or in the Western Atlantic just off the Irish coast, and take it all the way through that infrastructure into people's cars, whether it's the general public or fleets across the UK and Ireland. So that's why it's so important for us to be investing in this space. In terms of what we're doing, we're investing £24 billion over the next 5 years, and what that transpires to is roughly €8 million per day we will be investing in renewable assets. And in terms of electric vehicles, what that means for electric vehicles is we've got an ambition to build over 300 EV hubs with 10 bays or more across the UK and Ireland. And here in Ireland, we're looking to deliver between 30 and 40 hubs. And as I say, with the first one opening early next year. So huge ambition to really support that transition of electric fleets. And we're also really focused on a collaborative approach. So where our EV journey really got started was in the bus market. We were quite leading in the bus market about 7 years ago. We then looked at what we were doing in the bus sector, how we were supporting that fleet, and then how that could evolve to other fleets, while other fleets were starting to also get their head around what does decarbonisation mean for them. And that's how we're taking the journey forward, is basically we felt we wanted to be investing in the network that can support those people that don't have the ability to charge at home, they don't have the ability to charge in a depot, or their drive cycle just means that they need to charge or take an opportunity to charge throughout their working day. We also hugely believe about collaboration, and I think if we're really going to deal with this kind of agenda of decarbonisation, particularly in the fleet space, we're going to have to collaborate. We're going to have to bring enterprises and businesses together that have never wanted to work together in the past. So, and what do I mean by that? Not everyone can have electric vehicle charging on their site, whether it's down to the fact they lease that site, or the power's not available in that location, or just the cost to bring it to life is too perverse. And what we firmly believe is that we need to try and solve that problem with fleets and build infrastructure so that you don't have lots and lots of points of connection, lots and lots of stress on the grid. And what we want to try and do is find ways that we can bring fleets to we're investing in infrastructure, and multiple fleets can use those facilities. some innovative things we're doing. We're looking and working with bus operators across the UK, and we're looking at turning those bus depots, when buses aren't in those depots during the day, we're turning them into part-time fleet hubs for local authorities and fleets within the community. And by that way, it means that you can release some of the pressure on the grid. You can sweat those assets that aren't being used during the day but are freely available. And as long as it's done in a safe way, in a controlled manner, you can get some real kind of pace into the fleet market and kind of decarbonise quicker and help people to think a little bit differently. In terms of why Ireland, Ireland's a really important location for us. Obviously, Airtricity are already here and established. We've been here investing in street lighting infrastructure and other networks for some considerable time. And we know that the Irish market is really keen to decarbonise. And for us, it's just that next stepping stone from the activities we've been doing in the UK to then bring it over to Ireland and help that whole journey that you guys are on. In terms of our hubs, what do they look like? That's our first hub there. We opened that earlier this year. That's in Glasgow, and we're looking to replicate that in multiple areas across Ireland. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not going to take all the credit. The team that have been working on this are with me today, and I would invite you that actually to really go and have a chat with them over there where we are and have a look at the model, because that model is exact replica of what's going to be built at Loch Shiva, early in the year. And the key thing, what we want to really focus on with our whole hub rollout, whether it be in the UK, Ireland or beyond, is about a robust and resilient network. We're going to be putting in 150 kilowatt chargers from day one. We'll obviously then monitor how the utilisation and the kind of charging styles evolve, and then as technology improves, we'll look to bring the latest technology into our hubs. We're really focused on making sure that our EV hubs are reliable. If you turn up, the charger's working, it says what it is going to deliver on the tin, and we provide that great customer experience. Because for us, it's about making sure that we replicate that experience wherever you are. If you're charging a vehicle in London, Dublin, Belfast, wherever that may be, you get that same feel about the experience that we're going to provide. It's really important to us at SSE. These are the sites, so that's a 3D rendition of the model that's over there. This site is in planning. It's going to be built early next year. And yeah, it's really, really impressive site. The key thing that we focus on as well with the design of this site is making sure that it's fully inclusive. So whether you're a fleet driver, a member of the public, a disabled driver, whoever it may be, you will be able to use that facility. There'll be parking bays, there'll be charging facilities, and you'll be able to get a charge. Doesn't matter what type of driver, who you are, you'll be able to get a charge at that site. Some innovative things that we're also doing with our charging hubs, we're also looking to recycle turbine blades. So a lot of the wind farms out in the North Sea and other locations and geographies, they're now being replaced and improved. So larger turbines are being installed. So those existing turbines that are coming out would be generally going to landfill. What the team considered and thought about and worked with some external parties to bring to life is how we can then repurpose those turbine blades, turn them into a canopy at our hubs, and then put some flexible solar on top. So basically recycling and sustainable approach to, rather than going to landfill, we're going to recycle some of those turbine blades and use them at our flagship hub. So we're excited about that as well, because that would be a first for EV hubs in the UK and Ireland. So a little bit of a whistle-stop tour there. Hope you found it useful. I am up for taking some questions, so if the audience want to ask any questions, then I think if we've got a bit of time, which I think we have, then I'm happy to take some. Anyone want to ask a question?
Hi, thanks for your presentation. Will SSE Airtricity customers be able to get a home rate on your hub?
So we're just in the process of developing that, but the answer is yes, in the very near future. We're just looking at how, because with the way the Airtricity brand is integrated into our, obviously we've only got domestic customers in Ireland, but we're looking at a way that we can provide a tariff where the domestic customers can obviously sign up for a tariff that then gives them access and a preferential rate for charge at the EV hubs as well.
Hello, Michael Cusick from Inland Fishers Ireland. We have a fleet of maybe 40 odd electric vehicles, and we also use the ESB and EasyGo for the charging. I'm just curious, are you planning on setting up a standalone product, or will it be integrated with existing suppliers?
At this stage, it will be a standalone product of like for like, but as I said, we want to collaborate with all partners, and we're not scared of having a conversation with those guys and joining those dots together and being partners to support the whole Irish network. So yeah, at this stage, our plan is to get our hubs out there, build them, but in time looking at roaming and all ways of collaborating between the assets.
Thanks.
All done? Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you found it useful.